Okay, so the reason why I'm showing you this is that not just because it's 2100, but to show that even at 2100, we miss tactics like this. So this is a tactic we need to kind of burn into our brain to look out for, because we fall into this false sense of security, especially in the opening, where we make this mistake and it can be immediately losing. All right, so I'm playing white in this game, and as the title suggests, well, not suggests, it tells that the game ends in 12 moves. All right, I played knight f3 just to be flexible. I don't really, as like you guys know, I don't really study openings like talking about. But I did know like this was the Grunfeld, and I know like one line for it, right? So I take, they take, no, I'm sorry, don't take. I take the center, knowing that they're going to take on c3, and then taking back on c3, having a good open center, which is I think is the main line here, and it's the only thing I know. I just know that I like having open positions. I like having control of the center. I like easy development. So I like to keep things simple. Now they pin my knight, natural move. In a way that's kind of like taking away some of the protection of my center on the d pawn. And I play this move, bishop c4. Whenever someone plays bishop c4, unless the pawn's like maybe on e6, maybe you don't have to worry about it as much, but you always need to be checking for tactics. This move in so many openings is just deadly, right? So always, always, always check for tactics. Think about in your head like the move you want to play and see if there's a tactic, right? So whenever I see somebody play bishop c4 or bishop c5 in different positions for the opponent, and it's like attacking that f7 or f2 pawn, you got to check it. You got to see if you're okay. So here, you can pause the video if you want. You can comment if you know what the tactic is, if your opponent picks the wrong move. Actually, I could play it here, and then you could pause if you can find it here. And it's so easy to make this mistake. So easy. I'm definitely guilty of it. I remember playing it on the board. It was like a tournament. Yeah, it was an on the board in-person tournament, and I fell for this, and it was devastating. And it was immediately losing. So, without further ado, the move was take on f7. Now, they're going to take back. If you don't, they just lose a pawn. And, well, not just lose a pawn, but like they're losing. And then there's this check. So check, and notice that this check is also hitting the bishop. So no matter where the king goes, the queen is taking the bishop. Now in the game, I paused to think about if this tactic still worked in this specific position. So I didn't just jump into it. But by taking, I had to calculate, if I take, check, and then take the bishop, is it worth it? That's a huge question you got to ask yourself in your calculations. Is it worth it to you? And what can they do to counteract? Because after I take the bishop, they're no longer in check. And I'm aware that my king is not castled, so I have to think about like if they're throwing queen a5 or if they take on d4, what have you. But what I found was that there's nothing they can do that's too devastating. I'd be willing to give up this pawn if I needed to, just to take a move to castle, and then just deal with my king being protected and theirs being exposed. I didn't really need to calculate much beyond that. But I also saw that there's very many ways they can go wrong at the same time. So I went for it. Take. I'm sorry, check, take. And then they played this move. So this would be another good place. Of course, this is not guaranteed that they would play this way. Another place for you to pause and look for the best move. If you need a hint, it is, in case you're ready to pause, it is checkmate in 2. Right there. Because the king can't move to f7 because it's blocked by the knight. And the queen covers everything in the back rank. So their only move is to move the queen back, and then it'd be checkmate. And my opponent had resigned here. I also wanted to kind of show you that, let's say they didn't make that move. Am I able to analyze here? Yeah. Take, sure. No. What was I looking for? Here. It was before that. Okay. My mouse is being weird. Let's say they moved here. I take... my mouse is being weird. Alright, I'm going to have to pause it there because my computer's just acting up. But you get the idea. Remember that bishop c4 move. Look out for the tactic as if you're the one playing it, and definitely look out for the tactic if you're the opponent.